Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a really great day trading today. So today's chart looks a little bit different. I posted this out on TradingView this morning, and because we had that big down gap in futures, I decided to use the 1 standard deviation reading for the trading range. So a little bit different, but it worked out perfectly, and we gapped down right to the bottom of it, 591. We actually gapped right into this up gap and underneath that 1 hour 200 moving average. I've been talking about this 1 hour 200 moving average and how it's facing down and how it's going to bring us down. I'm not going to say it never fails, but so far I've never seen it fail. 1 hour 200 moving average, when it's pointing down, it will drag us down. So you think it's Trump that's causing the chaos. It's really this 1 hour 200 moving average. So SPY, we gap down to the bottom of the 1 standard deviation move. And we gapped into this up gap underneath the 1 hour 200 moving average. And we did get that oversold signal right here. And then we brought it back up to the 50-day moving average, to the 30-minute 200 moving average, and then we closed right at that 50-day moving average. It was a really fun day, I'm not gonna lie. I had all of my positions were green today, and this up gap got closed out on that drop, and then we still have an island gap right here. So the other thing that I always say, other than the 1 hour that's pointing down will always pull us down, is that overlapping gaps will always fill. And it doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but this is going to fill. And we saw the same thing in SPX. We gapped down all the way to the bottom of that 1 standard deviation move. I will make a tutorial on how to figure that number out. So 59.35 was the bottom of the 1 standard deviation move, and we gapped down. That was a big gap down to open, and right off the bat we filled this gap, and then from there we saw that as support. We got back above this downward facing 1 hour 200 moving average to the flat 50-day moving average. We tapped that 30-minute 200 moving average twice before closing right above the 50-day moving average. And take a look at this 35 EMA and this 30-minute 200 moving average. It looks like it's possible that we do go bearish on this time frame. And that would be if this 35 EMA crosses underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average. It can also bounce, and then we can resume upward, but keep an eye on this 35 EMA. So SPX today closed down 0.76%. SPY closed down 0.67%. VIX up 13.34% at close. And we were using the standard deviation today, but we would have closed within the implied move. I know that for a fact. So as crazy as today was, we closed within the implied move. And really quickly before we move on to QQQ, just speaking of the implied move, I didn't go over Friday because I didn't make a video on over the weekend, but it was really cool to see after that gap up, we took it all the way to the top of the implied move, and to the penny, that is where we got smacked back down. So implied move is a very important level, and if you don't know how to come up with it, make sure you go check out my tutorial. Alright, so let's take it over to QQQ. We did open today with the same gap down, and we did take it to the bottom of the 1 standard deviation move on the 0-day contract here, and we did bounce right at that level, and we took it back up to the 50-day moving average. We did hit that 1 hour and 30-minute 200 moving averages, but we got pulled back down. We closed right at the 50-day moving average. So the trend right now is that 50-day moving average. And QQQ has been really hugging that level for quite a few weeks now. And by few weeks, I mean last week. All right, QQQ did close down today 0.8%. VXN up 5.82%, and we would have closed within the implied move. This is 1 standard deviation, but we definitely closed within the implied move today. and IWM. We opened here also with a gap down all the way down to the 1 standard deviation move at 221. From there, we had the first candle was small for the first half hour. Second candle was huge and took us all the way back up above this 1 hour 200 moving average. That's that facing down one I've been talking about. And then pushed up, and this is the 30-minute 200 moving average. That's where we saw resistance, took it back to the 1 hour and closed just a little bit above that 1 hour 200 moving average. IWM were trading well underneath that 50-day moving average, and IWM down 1.17% on the day. RVX did close up 7.25%. And IWM definitely would have closed within the implied move. The implied move for IWM was like 1.4%. So that is within the implied move here today. So that 1 hour 200 moving average, I've been talking about it for a little while, and it was stubborn. It wasn't turning with all of these movements above. The 1 hour was not budging. And then DIA. And because I love technicals so much and I didn't do a weekend video, I just want to show you guys how cool Friday was, because Friday we opened right here and we were going into it with the 50-day moving average right above us. And then right above we had this resistance that we've had 3 times. A 3 times resistance level is no joke. So when we got above that 50-day moving average, at first I was thinking we would get a breakout, but that 3-time resistance right here smacked us back down. And this is why I love technical analysis. Some people say TA doesn't work, but I am telling you, I know for sure that it does. So, all right, that was my rant, and let's take it over to DIA. DIA today opened with a gap down all the way down to the bottom of the 1 standard deviation move here at 438. And after today, we are going back to expected move. And then that 30-minute 200 moving average was right there. And then it took us back up to the 35 EMA. And that is where we saw resistance. So before we were making lots of blue candles here, and top of the expected move here from last week, you could see resistance, resistance, resistance. So top of the implied move is a level. And we had all blue candles above this 35 EMA, and except for at the very end of last week, today we gapped down and we still have only red candles. So we're not necessarily bearish. 35 EMA is still above the 30-minute 200 moving average, but we are very neutral here. DIA did close down 0.25%, and we definitely closed within the implied move. So interesting start to the week. I'm going to start working on tomorrow's trading ranges, and you will be able to find those charts out on TradingView in the morning. Don't forget to have fun, trade safe, make sure you take profits when you're up, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.